Hello students, welcome back to the channel. So in this video, we are moving further from the biodiversity. In the first two videos, we have already covered level of biodiversities, what is an sound estimate and extreme estimates. Then we studied how much diversity is present in the world, how much diversity is present in India. Then we studied latitude gradient and species area relationship. In the last two videos, we have already covered this. Now we are going to start what is the importance of diversity to the ecosystem. So question is there, does the number of species really matter? Does it really matter? To this question, many scientists were not able to give answer. For this question, many ecologists were not able to give a definite answer. And they used to believe, ecologists believed that the community with more species, they are more stable. Now, it means now the question came in the mind, then what does stability means? What exactly is stability for biological community? Now see, if we have to know, okay, what is a stable community, then what does it show? The characteristic of the stable community is this, it should not show too much variation in the productivity from year to year. The first point, stable community is the one community which will not show too much variation in productivity. Second is, it must be resistant. Resistance means resilient to occasional disturbance, either by natural or by man-made. So it should be resistance to all these types of disturbance. Third, it should be resistance to alien species invasion also. So what are the three criteria for stable community? We will say stable community is that community in which the variation in production is not there. Variation is less in production. Clear, beta? Then number two, we will say resistance to disturbance. This disturbance is by natural or by man-made, and resistance to alien species. So the community which is able to show all these things, we will say that community is stable. Now one scientist, that is David Tillman, he has done long-term ecosystem experiment by using outdoor plot. Please, they can ask you the question, who has done long-term ecosystem experiment? Your answer should be David Tillman. Who has done outdoor plot experiment? Then your answer should be again David Tillman. So he gave the answer. He told it, yes, all these are linked with the species diversity. What he observed that the plot with more species, they are showing less variation in total biomass. And he has done his experiment, what he told, high diversity means high productivity. Increased diversity means increased productivity. So a stable community means one which is having high diversity. And high diversity means it is more productive. Now question is, although we may have not understood completely how species richness is contributing to the well-being of an ecosystem, but still we have realized that rich diversity is not only essential for ecosystem health, but it is also necessary for the survival of human race on this planet. So this question is, okay, fine, we are trying to explain the people, species richness means it is actually a healthy ecosystem, but many people are not able to understand, but everyone has understood this much, species diversity is necessary for survival of the human race. Now, sometimes the question people may ask, at a time when we are losing the species at such an alarming pace, some might ask the question, does it really matter to us if few species become extinct? Or will the Western Ghat ecosystem will be less functional if one of its tree frog species is lost forever? Or how will our quality of life will be affected if instead of 20,000 ants, we are having only 15,000 species of ant on the earth? So still few people are asking this question, okay, fine, you're telling the species richness is important for the survival of the human race. So few people are raising this voice. Is it really affecting us when if suppose one your tree frog is extinct? Or if will it really affect instead of 20,000, do we have 15,000 only species of ant? Now for this answer was given by the Stanford ecologist Paul Ehrlich. So see beta, there is no direct answer to this question. What the people were asking, there is no direct answer to such a new question, Navy question, but we can develop a perspective through analogy. So this analogy, now you please focus, this analogy is also known as Rivett-Popper hypothesis to explain that question. Yes, does it really matter if few species become extinct? To explain this, analogy is suggested by Stanford ecologist Paul Ehrlich. According to him, aeroplane is an ecosystem. Aeroplane is an ecosystem, and to make an aeroplane, you are using rivet. Rivet is assumed as a species. If suppose few passenger carry the rivet to the home, carrying the rivet to the home means extinct. The rivet to home means extinct. Initially, I think so plane will not have any problem. Initially, plane will not be having problem. But if suppose more and more rivets are removed, I think so flight safety becomes a problem. So see carefully what is telling in aeroplane, which is ecosystem, all parts are joined together by using thousands of rivet. The rivet means species and your airplane means ecosystem. Is it clear? If suppose passenger traveling in it start popping out, means start removing a rivet to take home, the rivet to home means causing the species to extinct, then I think so it may not affect flight safety initially no problem, but later on as more and more rivets are removed, the plane become dangerously weak. Is it clear now? After that, which rivet is removed, that is more critical now. After that, which rivet is removed, furthermore which rivet is removed may be also be critical. Is it clear? Now, if suppose loss of the rivet is done from the wings, so rivet on wings are key species. Key species are those species whose number is less, but ecological role is more. And as a result, you can say they drive the main ecosystem function. For this, I'll give you one imagination. See beta, if I have to cut one tree or 100 grasses, what will I prefer? I think so I'll prefer 100 grasses to cut instead of one tree. Though number of that one tree is only one. Number is one, but if you see, we are not cutting it because it's playing very important ecological role. It is binding the soil, preventing soil erosion. It is giving the place where many birds and insects can survive. It is a home for many animals. If it is producing the fruit, it can be source for the food for other animals. Okay, and it is giving so much oxygen. So by thinking more ecological role, we will not disturb that keystone species. So rivet on wings are your keystone species. Clear beta? So if suppose the loss of rivet on the wings is obviously a more serious threat to the flight safety as compared to the loss of rivet of the wings or on the window inside the plane. So it is a type of an analogy to explain that yes, the quality of life might be affected. It might be affected not initially, but later on. And later on, it will be more problem. We have to see from where the rivet is removed, means which species is getting extinct. So I hope up till here you have understood. Now see loss of biodiversity. Now see, it is doubtful if any new species are being added through speciation. So speciation is a process by which new species are being made. So there is very much doubt is there whether new species are added or not into the earth treasury of a species, but there is no doubt that we are continuing losing it. So addition of new species is in doubt whether we are adding or not, but losing, there is no doubt. Yes, we know we are losing it, and at very alarming pace we are losing it. The biological wealth of our planet has been declining rapidly, and the accusing finger is pointing to the human only. Generally, right now, the extinction is because of man-made activities, means we will say anthropogenic extinction is going on. Now, if you see beta, I'm just skipping the line. Wait, I'll focus it. Don't worry. Now, according to IUCN Red List, so what is full form of IUCN? International Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources. According to them, see beta, 784 species have been extinct in last 500 years. So 784 species extinct in how many years? In last 500 years, this many extinction has been occurred, in which 338 is your vertebrates, 359 is invertebrates, and 87 are plants. Clear beta? So in last 500 years, 784 species have been extinct only. So this data, please learn it. Extinction of 784 species in the last 500 years, which include 338 vertebrates, 359 invertebrates, and 87 plants. Now, recent extinction we are finding dodo from Mauritius. Please learn this also, but okay, these are the places you have to learn it. The dodo from Mauritius, steel quagga is from Africa, thylacine from Australia, and Steller sea cow from Russia, and 3 subspecies of tiger, that is Bali, Javan, and Caspian, they have been extinct. These are the examples of recent extinction. Please learn it. It is again very important. And very important next data is this: in last 20 years, in the last 20 years, we have found the disappearance of 27 species. The 27 species have been extinct in last 20 years. Clear beta? And this extinction is known as mass extinction, which is anthropogenic extinction. It is anthropogenic extinction. Is it clear? Example of anthropogenic, they are giving it. See what their example is giving it. Colonization. Obviously, human activity will do it. Of tropical Pacific island by human is said to lead to the extinction of more than 2,000 species of bird. This is the example they are trying to give just because of human activities. Is it clear, beta? And now what is their observation is the extinction across taxa is also not random. Some groups are like amphibians, they are more vulnerable to extinction. Now let me explain you what is vulnerable. Okay, just 1 minute, beta. Now see beta, IUCN has given this list. This is known as red list category. Okay, it is given by IUCN and total 8 categories are there. Extinct, so we'll use a symbol EX. Second is extinct in wild. Third is critically endangered. Fourth is endangered. Fifth is vulnerable. Sixth is lower risk. Seventh is data deficient, and eighth is not evaluated. So this list is given by the IUCN. Okay, IUCN has given this list in which first category you can't do anything because now it is totally extinct. So a taxon is extinct when there is no reasonable doubt that the last individual is also dead now. Extinct in wild, it means they are extinct in wild, but if we found, we can find them in the botanical gardens or zoological parks and the conservation. Okay, now these 3 target, we are targeting these 3 to save. Which one? Critically endangered. It means this is facing a risk of high risk of extinction, and if we don't take care, they are going to be extinct in immediate future. Then second is endangered, which is actually facing a high risk of extinction in near future. And all this is given extinction in wild, please. Extinction in wild, not in the conservation method, extinction in wild. Third is vulnerable. So this taxon is not critically endangered, not endangered, but it is extinction in wild in the medium term future. So please learn beta. This is very important. Please learn critically endangered, immediate future, endangered, near future, vulnerable, medium term future. So these are the categories in which these third, fourth, fifth categories, we are working on it. First category we can't do because it is extinct. Second also we can't do, it is extinct. We are doing the conservation in the ex situ method only. Now, sixth category, lower risk, it is not that much at the risk, so we are not working much. Data deficient, this is the one which is not, we are not having proper information for it. And last category, we have not evaluated. So this is a red list category according to IUCN, and we generally work on these three categories only. So I think so a vulnerable word is clear, beta. Is some groups like amphibians, which group is more vulnerable to extinction? Amphibians, they are more vulnerable to extinction. Now, if you see, more than 15,500 species worldwide are facing the threat of extinction. Okay, so you can write down 15,500 are facing the threat of extinction. In which 12% are bird. If you see for this, we will give 12% to the birds, 23% mammals, 32% amphibians, and 31% gymnosperms. Is it clear? So this is the worldwide data. Now let me just show you the Indian data. Wait, beta. Now see, beta, in our NCERT, in the summary area, it is given, beta. See, more than 15,500 species are currently facing the threat of extinction worldwide, of which more than 650 are from India only. So this information is not given in the starting, okay? Here they have added. So this is again very important question area. Please remember, beta. 15,500 out of which 650 are from India only. So I hope so up till here, beta, loss of biodiversity and how much loss is done in last 500 years, in last 20 years, and how much are facing the threat of extinction, what is a percentage, and in India it is 650 of whatever total 15,500 is given. Now see, from the study of history of life on Earth through fossil record. So how can you study the history of life on Earth? Is through fossil record we can study. We found large scale loss of species, the one which we are doing it, has happened earlier also, even before human appearance. During the long period, means more than 3 billion years since the origin and diversification of life on Earth, 5 episodes of mass extinction has been already done. So mass extinction has been already done earlier. Okay, 5 episodes is already done. Right now, current is your 6th episode of extinction. How does the difference is there with the 6th episode and previous 5? So difference is present in the rate only. Current rate of species extinction is 100 to 100 times faster than in pre-human activities. And who is responsible for this fastness? Human is responsible. So we say it is anthropogenic activities. That is why we say this is anthropogenic extinction. So this mass extinction is because of anthropogenic activities. So ecologists are worried if present trend continue, half of the species on the earth can be wiped out within the next 100 years. Is it clear? Please, this is very important. So they are worrying if suppose this present trend continue, if we are not thinking about to save the diversity, then we can lose half of the diversity in next 100 years only. So today I'm stopping up till here. I hope this video session will be helpful for you to learn all the data. In the next video, we'll be moving further. Thanks, Peter. Thanks for watching.